Hello all to another video. Today I want to talk about how fitness has improved my life tremendously and how I stay motivated to keep active and to keep working out because I was once a chubby kid, not chubby to the extent like being fat, but I had a lot of body fat on me because there was a point in my life where I was pretty much an alcoholic. I was drinking a lot, drinking beer after beer after beer, and a beer is 200 calories or so, right? So I would drink like easily 12, 13, sometimes 20, and I would eat fast food after that, and that's easily, I mean, more than 1500, more easily 2000 calories that I was doing this frequently. I mean, pretty much almost every day I was doing this, going out with friends and being around the um the wrong crowd and doing that, and it really took a toll on my body and my appearance, and because of that it made me very depressed, and not just from what I saw in the mirror but how I was feeling as well, with all that weight, and I wasn't really taking care of my diet or anything like that. um, yeah, it was really taking a toll of my mental health, and I had a couple of breakdowns because of it, and it also scarred me mentally because I've always been somebody that's very conscious of my appearance, and very very worried, and I still am. And so having all that in my life, it made me very self-conscious from it. And to get right down to it, the biggest motivator for me, honestly, is fear. Fear is one of the greatest incentives of for taking action that you can ever implement in your life is fear. Um, Somebody that's very physically active, they're physically active because they fear not being in shape anymore. And it's as simple as that. You take away the gym, you take away their ability to exercise, that fear rises and rises and rises, and it terrifies them, because it's more than just their appearance. It can come down to their status. It can come down to their reputation, recognition, the level of respect that they have with themselves, as well as their mental health, and their overall physical health. Um, so you take that away from them, it leaves them very afraid. So they're afraid to lose it. So fear is what drives people, more specifically fitness influencers and all that, or fitness advocates, to keep on exercising. And that has done on me for well, you know. It really makes me very motivated to keep exercising because I fear losing it, you know. So fear can be very, very powerful. It can be very moving. So any fear that you have in your life, any worry, anything that you're afraid of, it's what's keeping you alive. It's what's pushing you. Think about fear for a minute. Fear, when you're in a very frightful situation, your adrenaline is pumping. Your blood is going. You're sweating, you're trembling, you're moving, right? You're afraid. And when you're scared, of course it feels shitty, but in that moment you're alive. You're never more in your body when you're afraid, and when you carry that with you as your resource to get things done, it pushes you. It pushes you to do things. It really does. It can get you out of whatever rut that you're in. It can make you do things that you normally wouldn't do because of fear. Um, and one of the hardest things to get rid of or to defeat is being stagnant in fear. A lot of people are stagnant in their fear. They won't confront their fear. They won't defeat their fear. It's like they see the cave and they just see the darkness, and they just don't want to venture forth in it because they don't know what's on the other side. And like I myself have been in that situation, and I still am with a lot of things. But we can use fear as a resource to push us to do things that we normally wouldn't do, because it has a rebound effect. Because the more powerful the fear is, the more powerful the defeat, the triumph is. You know, and once you see that you can do it, you kind of look back and think, I really had nothing to be afraid of in the first place. And fitness for me has been that. It's been my temporary little push to show that I can, I can do certain things if I just set my mind to it. And you can too. Um, so that's what keeps me motivated to keep going, is to realize that fear is, it sucks, but it's essential. And I'm not saying that you should live your life in fear of everything, but fear is good to have, um, when it comes to caring about something. It shouldn't make you, like, I'm not saying that you should worry. I'm not saying that you should go through your life in panic and in fear of everything. I'm not saying that that fear is the only resource that you can use, but it certainly is very resourceful. And by just switching your perspective on fear, it can you can see it as something that's useful to you in your life. And the thing about fear is that false evidence appearing real, it's not even real. That's what's funny about it, is that fear isn't real. It's just something that gives us that sort of spookiness to sort of shock us into life and into the moment that we're in. But once we overcome the fear, we realize there was nothing to be afraid of in the first place. And you start to lose it. But you don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose it. You always want something to keep aspiring towards. And there's always going to be a level of fear, and that's what keeps you alive. Is because it's spooky and it's scary. Anybody that doesn't have fear, they're boring, I guarantee you. They probably don't have much to aspire to. They probably don't have much to go out and get. So fear is the number one, for me, fitness motivating resource, is using fear. And for somebody like me that's afraid of social situations, the gym is very intimidating. It's not like being in shape, you're suddenly not afraid of the gym. Every day I go to the gym, I'm afraid, to be honest. In social situations, I'm scared. And I still go. I still go. Things aren't always the best when it comes to how I socialize, but I still do it, because I know that there are other things than the fear to focus on and to gain than just that. You see what I mean? So fear is powerful, it's potent, and it can be useful if you harness it. Fear is a lot like fire. If you control it, it can be useful. If you can't control it, it can be destructive. And so use fear as your main, look through your life and see what it is that whatever it is that you do on a consistent basis, that's your drive. Imagine not having it anymore. Imagine it being gone. And I guarantee you you'll find that source of what lights it in you, is to realize that it could be taken away from you. And it's scary if it is. If the gym was taken away from me, or if fitness itself was taken away from me, I literally, my mental health would decline very badly. And so that's another fear that I keep with me, and fear also makes us grateful. It can also make you grateful for what you have, because it can be taken away from you. So that's just what I have for in this video. using fear and realizing fear can be a friend or an ally, to say the least. And that's just what I use to you know, keep on a consistent path. So basically, I just wanted to make this video for anybody that's thinking that fear is something that they can never get over. You don't have to get over it. You can use it. It's not like you. It's not like fear is ever going to just go away. You know what I mean? Like, you may not fear the thing that you once feared when you do it, but your mind will go on to the next thing, because you're always going to have another aspiration that you're going to want to achieve, and that fear is going to hit you. But that's what's keeping you going. It's the gas in the tank. So that's it for this video. Fear can be an ally. Fitness is what helps me. So find your thing that helps you, and never be afraid to be afraid.